Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Beef. What's up, Beef?
Hello. I believe this is number 1771.
77?
Oh, is it? Oh, right.
1777.
Okay. Well, I don't know. According to your video that was 5 hours ago, you said it was 1771, but I don't know. Like I say, the numbers are inconsequential at this time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, with certain things, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, who cares about numbers? Who cares about what went before?
Right, I guess. Well, this was a pickle. I guess this.
It's been a week, hasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I found myself getting upset days after rather than the day of. I wrestled with this a lot because I watched it.
Yeah, you have one feeling watching it because you get caught up.
I mean, I don't know if I was in denial or what, but I tend to believe that this is not true. Like the master is telling you that, all this, and it's like, well, didn't the master say you were half human before? I mean, like, am I really to believe? Is the doctor really to believe someone else without seeing it herself? Like, I mean, we didn't see the first doctor getting regenerated from a previous, like, nothing happening. I didn't see anything to connect the dots. And I'm like, well, it's a great story. I enjoyed it, but the doctor's in the timeless child. But, like, where is the evidence? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the Valyard alter the Matrix of Gallifrey before when he put the doctor on trial to try to make it like the doctor committed genocide? And the doctor's like, I didn't do that. I don't remember this. I don't remember that.
Well, the Master did it. The Master was in the Matrix and Trial of a Time Lord as well.
Yeah.
So it's this is the thing. It's a get out thing because either it's one of two things. Either you take it as what the Master is saying is completely 100% true, or what you're saying is that the Master is lying.
Well, maybe the Master's not lying. Maybe he thinks it's the truth, but somebody duped him.
Well, yeah, there is that. I mean, it's where if there's disinformation, where's the disinformation coming from? Is the disinformation coming from the Master because he just wants to screw with the Doctor, or is it a case of someone supplanted it? I think to say that the Time Lords supplanted the information in it, and then the Master has completely wiped out Gallifrey, that sort of backfired. But I sort of.
Did he really wipe out Gallifrey, or did they make him think he wiped out Gallifrey? Like, did they put that memory in there?
If what you are led to believe is true, then why would they allow the Cybermen to be welcomed onto Gallifrey into the?
I don't even think that's Gallifrey. I think that it's a copy. First of all, the buildings are destroyed, right? But yet the Time Lord bodies are intact. But they're dead, but they can't regenerate. Like, something stinks to me. I don't get it.
I think the thing overall stinks, if I'm honest.
How did the Matrix of Gallifrey not get destroyed? But yet everything else doesn't.
Look, I watched it on Sunday, and I watched it, and I said, look, as a someone who's followed the show for a long time and everything like that, which I think we all have. To be honest with you, and you can take it one of two ways: either the Master is telling the truth, or the Master is lying. No, I don't even want to think about because you're making apologies, or you're trying to interpret the narrative. Exactly, but you're making an excuse for it, and it's a case of I think it's got to fall of one either two ways. It's that either he's telling the truth or he's lying, and. I've sort of I watched it, and there were good parts to it that I enjoyed. The special effects were good. I do. There are aspects of it that I liked, but I've sort of wrestled with it. If I'm honest with myself, over the last few days, I really have, to be honest with you, about how I felt about it coming away from it.
Well, yesterday I didn't even do a cast. I was like. Something like this, it would be fresh to like, well, let's go on, let's jump in and do. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I was talking to Scott, and I was like, I don't know if we could do this like regularly. Like, Doctor Who's going to be off the air.
It's not me being dramatic, but I'm just thinking, do you know what? I've stuck around for 2. I don't think I might stick around for 3. That I might just sit out next year. I'm hand on heart. This is not dramatics. This is not.
No, it's not.
This is not knee-jerk reaction either. I've sort of thought about this and thought, do you know what? It's actually stopped being fun.
Yeah.
And the reason that I got to for this, and this, I'm telling you this. I've spoken to people about this privately, so this is the only time that I've spoken about it publicly so far. Is that if it turns out to be that the Master is lying, then I just think it's been a huge waste of time of when you could be doing something else with the show.
Right.
And it's a cheap trick, to be honest with you, because I'm old enough to remember Dallas and that's the closest. That's the closest analogy. That's the closest analogy that I can pull. Yes. Is that you spent a lot of time, a whole series, building up this thing to say this is it, and say all of a sudden he wakes up in the shower and it was all a dream, and
the whole season,
and that sort of like, so that's why there's a part of me that thinks this isn't really a fake out. It's a retcon thing, and maybe if you get someone new, when Chibnall goes and everything like that, and they get someone new in, and they retcon it, then I might come back and watch that.
But see, there's certain times in our lives with franchises where the things get so bad that we wouldn't mind them just waking up. In the case of Alien, like we hated Alien 3, we hated Alien Resurrection, and all these different, like if they did that thing with that director that wanted to bring it back, and Ripley woke up and Newt woke up, and was it Hicks? Hudson, whatever, like Hicks, I think, right? If they woke up and it was like now so many years later and boom, I would love that. I would let it go because those were so bad, the other movies, that I don't care about an excuse.
It's just now it's brought me to the point. Is I enjoy the classic show massively, and I've enjoyed the show that has come back massively, right. But it sort of brought last week's brought it to a head where it sort of stopped being fun. Then, to be honest with you,
yeah,
and. It's actually quite sad. It is like sort of like breaking up with a girlfriend type thing, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
because Doctor Who's always been there, and and I just think that if last week is held to be true, it just seems to be a quick fix, to be honest with you. Because if the idea is that you do the story and the story moves forward, it evolves and it goes forward. But this is basically, it's all backwards facing.
Yeah.
And when they made the change to the 13th Doctor, they said the idea was no, the thing is everything has to change, everything has to evolve, it has to move forward. It can't just be all guys. So we're going to have a female Doctor. Right. So this is how the show evolves. This is how the show changes. And if you can't deal with that, that's because you're too focused on the past.
But are we focused on the past, really?
But this
is our franchise. I mean, this is like our favorite thing. I mean,
but to say right, okay, well, you can't accept the change to a woman because you're too entrenched in what happened before. It's what about is happening now and what's going to happen going forward.
The only problem I had with them changing over to a woman was how we came off of Moffat's era, how it was low ratings. If they had waited until maybe like the 14th or 15th Doctor.
Oh no, I said the same thing. I said a change like that was inevitable for the evolution of the show. Where and I felt it would have been better to bolster the way the thing was and strengthen the foundations. But they made it whatever. That's what it was. But the criticisms that they held for the people at the time who who they said, well, look, do you know what I mean? If you can't accept it, there's the door. Look, thanks for stopping by. But it's not about the past, but what the way that if what happened last weekend is held to be true, it's all really been focused about going back and redoing the past, and that's not so. So you're becoming. It's becoming hypocritical.
Yeah,
it's becoming hypocritical because the case is. Then let's go forward. Let's take it. Let's make stories, creative stories, but. What you're doing by changing the past is you're making a super character. You're elevating that character to almost a godlike status.
Yeah, and
so
the Doctor was supposed to be a god. He was supposed to be more like a Lone Ranger type.
It's making that so the threat of death isn't really an aspect as much. I liked the concept of the Time Lords because the thing is, then there would always be someone that the Doctor would answer to. There would be an element of fear that the change takes that out of it.
They make him like the Doctor, like say like Neo, where he's above everybody else.
Where there's no culpability to it. And then it's a case of where everyone's going to be watching every episode going forward because there's a multitude of doctors and saying, well, I'll tell you what it is what you don't realize is that that's probably a doctor. And this is and everyone's going to be saying, wanting every episode to be a multi-doctor story. And then then it loses its special times when you do something like that. Or if it gets tricky, it's a really quick fix, get a jail free card saying, oh, well, this is something that happened off screen. And that's something
it's pretty much the reset button in every episode.
And it's something that they did a lot of the time through the season that did sort of irritate me, is that a lot of things that were important happened off screen. So you can say all this stuff happened off screen and you don't know about it, but here we go. This is what happened, and it all happened in the past. And that's why. And then it just leaves the door open for not being creative and trying to make new stories or new explorations. It stifles what I would want to be a creative element and to take the show forward and to evolve it. So and a little part of me is as well is that it's sort of like they just want to antagonize the fandom to a certain degree.
And that's what Chibnall's like he's doing, is he's going, okay, all you folks who loved old Doctor Who, this is no longer your Doctor Who. Fine. I mean, I accept that. I'm enjoying the one. I consider this a one shot.
It's never going to be the show that you watched when you were a kid.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. Like, the whole thing is that I don't care how they explain it. I just don't want this to be canon. I want it to go back to the way it is, where that was a ruse. Maybe the Master was.
I don't think it. Whether I wanted it or not, that's beyond my thing. Did it need to be done? No, because whereas
takes out the speciality of the Doctor.
Because the example that everyone's citing. The example that everyone's citing is the Morbius Doctors. That's like that's one small fire. That's one small fire. But by putting that out, you're lighting 5 more because you're making 5 more problems to fix one problem.
Did you ever think that was true then with the Morbius? That there was other incarnations of the Doctor before the first Doctor?
It's one of those things. When the show
did you think that though? Did you believe that after watching that episode, or you did, or no? Honestly,
it's a bit of one thing. I've never, to be honest with you, thought, well, it's going to fit in somewhere along the line. But when it comes up, it comes up. But does it need to be before Hartnell? No, it doesn't need to be before Hartnell because the further you go back into the prehistory, you lose a bit of mystique, to be honest with you.
But why can't it be that?
It's been good enough for 50 years to run how it has, without buckling under the weight of its own law. Canon is flexible. how the character is defined and how the character evolves.
But look at the first Doctor's memories for a second, right? The first Doctor has encountered the second, the third, I guess the fourth. Well, I don't know, not the fourth, but the fifth. He's seen he's teamed with them, even the 12th, right? So even if that's buried subconsciously and it carries over to the fourth Doctor's adventures, if he's doing a mind battle with that, and he doesn't remember that, but subconsciously, for whatever reason,
you're talking about the point that Bolshevik raised in his most recent video, which is saying that because his memory was wiped, he'd have no recollection of the Morbius Doctors. So how could that be brought up in that episode?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm saying that it could be a situation where we didn't see it on screen, and the Doctor encountered other Doctors. Like, if they have these specials where you have the 50th, you have the 2 Doctors, the 3 Doctors, whatever, that Doctor would have it in his subconscious that there's different Doctors. But it doesn't have to be the first Doctor, before the first Doctor. It could be Doctor 20 or Doctor 30 or Doctor whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the idea that timelines reassert themselves and everything like that. You had that in the 50th, to be honest with you. They say, right. Oh, we're going to go and we're not going to remember this because the timelines reassert.
But somewhere in the brain it might be there. So he's having to do with Morbius. And he remembered seeing a future Doctor but didn't really know what that was. And it comes up, and that doesn't have to be before Hartnell. I mean, that's my whole point. Is like, I don't believe it. I still don't believe it. I don't think I'm in denial. But my point is, like, I honestly see a bigger picture. I honestly see a confrontation. I honestly see that a timeless child that could regenerate indefinitely could be evil. Could be, it gets to their head. They think they're a god. They think they're above. The Doctor has to straighten them out. Like, maybe they're mad that with all their time being alive on this universe, everybody knows the Doctor and nobody knows the timeless child. And there's a little bit of an ego thing there. It's like, I started all this.
I mean, that's taking the concept of the timeless child and then taking it outside of it. But that's not what they're doing. They're saying basic. And that was another thing, was that because I think a lot of people watch this, and there was all this build-up of the timeless child, and then the Master goes, "Oh, there's this giant revelation. I've got to tell you, the timeless child, it's you."
But there was nothing there to show that.
And not being funny. If you were for a lot of the viewing audience, we sort of called that already.
Yeah, I know.
So really, is that a surprise? And then to say, well, how are you going to react to find out that all these other Doctors before you? Well, she ain't going to be that surprised because she already met one halfway through the season.
But where did the Master get? Where was the evidence that he got that this is the Doctor? There's nothing there. He even said they don't have all the information. So where did he get it that the timeless child is a Doctor? There's no evidence
and
there at all.
And somebody pointed this out on one of the other sites that I was on. How is it that little breach automatically went to Gallifrey? And
it's a fluke. That's what the Master says.
Why do we believe the Master?
Even then, what I'm saying is that it's a case of, it just seems to be the production of it just seems to be trolling the audience, because it's a case of, do you know what? Yeah, we're gonna have at you for just being focused on the past.
And that's why I think it's bullshit.
Because it's all about going forward.
And that's why I think it's bullshit.
And then what we're going to do is then we're going to do a complete 180, and then we're going to focus on the past. And then obviously you don't like it then that we're focusing on the past, that we're going to screw you over again that way, to be honest with you. So you want to have your cake and eat it. And it's lacking creativity. The show is about not who you are, it's what you do, how you change. And that's that they have always said the idea of Doctor Who is about change. But going back to that past then and mucking about with that's not change. That's not evolution. Evolution is moving forward, not going backwards. And that's what. Then it's sort of like it stopped being fun for me, because all it is by doing that, you're just promoting infighting, and you're taking you've got your opposite ends of the spectrum. And then you've got these sort of guys who a lot of us who are sort of like moderates in the middle and, willing to accept stuff and everything like that and let things go and sort of, roll with it and everything like that and say, well, no, we're gonna split you guys now in the middle into different groups and everything like that. And it's a case of, well, do you know what? I can't be bothered with it anymore.
Right.
Because it's stopped being fun. It's a case of,
I mean, honestly,
because then it's a case of, well, how am I supposed to have a reasoned judgment with people about it? I want to have a reason to talk with people about it, but it's all, you've got to fall into one side of you've got to fall onto one side of an argument, or you've got to fall into one category. And I don't want to do that. So do you know what? I'll just walk away and sort of like, I'll come back when perhaps it's,
do you think this is a bit more cliffhanger for Chibnall? Is just something he wants to set up what we talk about, and just a little, and then that way when he comes back in 10, 18 months, it's like, oh, see, I got you talking, I got you thinking, even though I wasn't really going to take you down that road.
Got you talking, but how many people are going to come back? And those that come back,
that's 18 months. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's it. When those people are going to come back, are they really going to care anymore if they come back? Because I think this is, you're always going to have the opposite ends of the scale. But if you upset your general viewers or you guys in the middle, it's a harder fight to bring those guys back because it's a case of, well, what's the point?
Yeah. I got to tell you, we have a lot of things to do. I'm deleting a lot of my pages.
By the end of it, I felt a bit, it felt like, oh, well, this is like a bit fanfic. I could have pulled it out.
And I thinking about it, it's like we devoted a lot of on-air, podcasts about this.
People are saying this year was better than last year. Yeah, it was, but the benchmark was really low.
Yeah.
And it's and then sort of what do you do? Well, when it stops being fun, maybe it's time to get off.
It's time to walk away.
We've always said that.
It's time to get off.
We've always said that, like about doing the videos. If it's like a job, or if it's like that, it's time to go.
Are you watching it just for the purpose of reviewing it, or are you watching it because you're enjoying it?
And then it's like homework, and like you're forced to root. Like that's the point. I'll probably tune into the special. And I don't know.
I don't know. At this point, the way I feel is I don't know if I can even be bothered to do that. And I will watch everything up until basically Chibnall took over because I've enjoyed it. But it's just been a general slow decline. And where they say that the show is working, probably winding up. Some people will say, oh, well, the show's winding up. Well, they've probably sped it up to a certain degree by just disenfranchising people, to be honest.
Right. So that way, when it falls off, they could say, well, there really wasn't a need for it anymore. The fan base has dropped off. The viewership's dropped off. And instead of saying, oh, it's because we wrote it poorly, they can easily use that as a
I got the impression they want to cancel it. I don't know why. I just... Like
they won't cancel it. It just won't come back.
That's right.
Yeah, leave it open.
Hang on. Look. I think Titan's Husky Life gets me. It's a case of the show needs to move forward. But what if you're trying to move forward? Then why be so backwards glancing? Then do something new, do something creative, but do it evolutionary wise.
Right.
Everyone's saying, well, by introducing unlimited regenerations for the Doctor, it means when you get to regeneration 26, you don't have to worry about how you're going to retcon again. Well, I tell you what, by the time they got to the first end of the 13. You're gone 50 years down the line, or you're over 50 years down the line. If you seriously believe Doctor Who is going to be around for 100 years, well, I applaud you and your confidence in product, because I don't think it would get to 100 years, regardless of however much we love it.
Right.
So I don't think that situation would recur again. But by making your principal character a god with infinite regeneration,
his specialty.
Well, but it also sort of changes because if your principal character knows that, then they're not going to have the same hesitation. They're not going to have the same thinking about, well, yeah, I'll just die and come back again. No problem there. It's you lose something in that of how the character conducts themselves.
I mean, what about all the times the Doctor was sick after regeneration, like regeneration sickness? You always got to the point that all the Time Lords have no problem with regeneration sickness, but the Doctor. Why is the Doctor always getting sick or getting messed up?
No. But there would always be a point of, I know that my time is limited. I'm willing to make a sacrifice for a greater good, but I will always try and find a way to get it. I will always try a way to avoid that. But if it comes down to it, and if it takes my own life, I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
No, but I'm talking about after he regenerates. He's usually sick. Something's going wrong with regeneration energy. Loses memory, loses this. It doesn't work like too smooth, like with other Time Lords. So now it totally throws it out the window now, because now it's like, you regenerated indefinitely now.
But then that's the point, that the threat of that, the fear of that, fear of losing oneself, it's not really going to matter anyway, because it's a case, well, I'll just get another one.
Right.
It's just
one of those shoes out, so you just go get another pair.
It becomes disposable.
Right.
You lose an element of threat and consequence.
Yes.
So I've as this week has gone on, I feel really sort of disappointed. It's not that I'm angry, to be honest with you. I just feel frustrated and thinking, I'm just going to walk.
Yeah,
I really am just going to walk, and I've vested a lot of time in this. I do invest a lot of time in it. My involvement with like the classic show and the stuff. I go to events and everything like that to do with the classic show. But when it comes to like when it goes up on TV, am I going to sit here and talk to you guys about it when it airs? No, because I probably ain't going to watch until there's a change for the better, to be honest with you. And it is. I just feel it's lost something now.
Well, with us too. I mean,
it is like sort of a girlfriend breakup. It's the
right. You're not the only one that feels that way. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Scott does too.
There's to be honest with you, there's a lot of people who I talk to. There's a lot of people who I know who I would say are moderates, and to say and they say it's still not doing it for me. So what are we doing? Do we just sort of make excuses? Because that's what we're doing now. Is at the point is that we just
it's the writing that's given people. It's okay. It's like a way out. They're not allowing him to leave Earth.
It's stop being fun
on the show.
I gotta tell you, I'm gonna say right now, we're gonna have a lot of time before the special airs, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if I feel that I just starting to, like you're saying, I really don't want to do it, I'm not gonna review it. I don't have to review anything. No. Like, it's up to me. It's like something I love, something I like, but I don't review stuff that I don't like. So I'm not going to guarantee another Real Whovians Kiss. I'm not going to, I mean, it may happen, may not happen. I have to see how I feel. And you know what? I'm already deleting all these pages because I'm like, well, I'm not into it right now. I mean, how many pages you going to have a Doctor? Everybody joked about me. Like, I always had too many pages, but it's just, now it's like, everything stopped. Like
it's easy for people to say, "Oh, wow, you didn't like it," well, whatever. It's a case of but you know what? If you enjoyed it, fine. I didn't, and this is why I feel the way I do. And I'm just going to say, thanks for the good times.
And claim that we're not a real,
but it's stopped being that.
Your argument.
It stopped being fun, and that's it. It does seem to be that the sort of, instead of going out with a bang or going out in a high,
he goes out with a whimper.
It's just basically
fizzles out. Yeah,
that's it, fizzling out. It's just people are dropping off, and it's a case of, well, yeah, there's just like one guy left on the bus at the end of the trip.
Right.
And he's just there to see where this bus ride ends.
There's one guy left at the party just to turn the lights off at the end.
Yeah.
We're not going to review it just to review it. If I don't want to review, we ain't going to review anything. So, whatever.
But that's it. I just feel it's frustrating. Is that, yeah?
I mean, you know how I feel. I mean, you know, I'm torn too. Like, I mean,
I know your opinions on it are very passionate, one way or another.
Right.
to say canon or lore has always had flaws in it and everything like that.
No,
it has. But
I think if they had just shown Hartnell as a younger version of himself, I don't think anybody would have had any problems that much.
I just didn't want to.
The fact that they went back and said, "Oh, the Doctor is from this other universe."
There's nothing there that says it. That's what gets me.
Scientists pretty much took that and incorporated it to
there's
others.
Nothing to connect the dots other than the Master just guessing that it is.
You can say.
Why?
There's
nothing there. There's no video footage. There's no Matrix footage of anybody regenerating into William Hartnell. There's nothing there to connect it. Nothing. He said it himself. I tried looking for information. I can't find it. The Master said it. But where do you arrive at that conclusion if there's no evidence there? Where are you arriving that that's the Doctor? I just don't get it.
To say that, right, okay, this is how the Time Lord's got the power of regeneration. Yeah, that's fine.
That's lazy writing.
And to say that the Master was so angry that this is, and striking a chord for injustice.
At the end of the day, he's insane. So what would you believe anything he says?
Well, it just, for me, it just seemed to be like
the Master in the first place.
How could he be half human now? Right? The Master said he was half human, right? How could he be half human now if you know that this being is like a god that regenerates indefinitely? How could it be half human now?
It just basically is that
Hi, Paul. Good to see you too, man.
It just seems like that basically that Chris Chibnall was just made the show that he wants to make. Okay,
yeah, exactly. And somebody's going to change it when he leaves.
He's the showrunner. That's his purview. That's his prerogative, and he's grown up. He's of a similar age that I am, so would have grown up with sort of everything of the 80s, the new Doctor, all the Virgin novels, all the new Doctor adventures, and he's just gone back and corrected what he thought was wrong.
I was about to say that same thing. That he saw wrong with the Sixth Doctor and all that.
Well, and
going back and going, I don't like that. I'm going to take that out with this story. I don't like that. I'm going to take it out with this story.
This was my fan fiction. When I went on TV and criticised the showrunners at the time, or the writers at the time, or like I say, he's put out one fire to light 5 more. So now it's going to be, going forward, is just going to be a series of firefighting, because every time a new episode drops, it's going to be fan arguments about this is contradictory, this doesn't fit, this isn't this isn't that. So hang on a second, where's the fun, where's the enjoyment, where's the escapism? Because all it is that every week is just going to be another battle. Because everyone's going to say this doesn't fit, this doesn't work, and that's the thing. Now you've killed the fun element now, and you
split the fan base into so many fractions that you can't even talk to person in a normal way without people going off the handle, and it's just getting to a point where I'm just tired of talking to anybody about Doctor Who.
Yeah, because
I just don't even want to bother.
Because some people will say, "Well, you're just a snowflake," or
right,
or you're just a this, or you're just a that.
You
or
want the show to go back to what it was,
or I'm relishing in you not enjoying the show.
See, the thing is, like, everybody knows, for me not to make videos regularly, it's either I'm just not into the mood or what. And this thing affected me a lot. I mean, we could have had 20 casts this week. Yeah. We didn't. I just
didn't
even want to talk about
it. It's sort of, oh, you're the timeless child. Well, surprise. And then after that, I felt apathy after that point.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah. Like I say, people, it's sort of,
there's other things we do. We do the everything show. We do all these shows,
and
reviewing
that
Picard and everything else. That's it. Review Picard. Review, Stranger Things. Review all these shows that we watch, and
it sounds incredibly depressing. But this is the first time I've actually. This is the first time I've actually spoken publicly about this. I've spoken privately with some other people and said, "Do you know what? I'm at the point where I've been thinking about it, and I'm thinking I'm just going to step away from the show in its current.
This is the first time I'm talking too.
In its current form, and that's sort of how I feel. And I sort of feel a weight lifted because it's a case of, well, do you know what? I don't have this pressure or worry about talking about people. Do you know what? If they don't like it, they don't like it. They like it. They like it.
I mean, you and I have the same opinion. I've been struggling past couple of days with this. Doctor Who is such a huge part of my life. It shaped a lot of different things and made me want to be a writer. It made me, it just, and then now to me, it's dead. Like, to me, I like, this is the first time I'm saying it, but it feels like it's dead to me. Like it's gone forever, and I can't even be with it again.
And I think in its current form, that's the only thing. That's the only caveat I would say.
I feel so far and from it. I
form.
feel like the Doctor's separated from the TARDIS. I trying to get into the groove, and I'm trying to do the real Whovians, and I'm every day it's like, I won't do one today. I won't do one today. I won't do one today. And now it's going days, and it's like, where's the real Whovians cast? And it's like, I'm just not, I just can't. I can't.
Last year they tried to move it forward, but for some reason could not deliver moving it forward. So, okay, let's do a 180, and we'll go back and we'll change the background.
And people
to try and make whatever we want to do going forward fit, because we've always got the get out thing was, well, this is something that happened in the background that we haven't really told you about. It's something that happened off screen. It's basically then going forward to make an excuse for quick fix writing. To build trapdoors into a what could be a weak story in the future, and then it's a cheat, really.
I know.
It's like, we need to speed this story along real quick. We really don't know how to fix it, so let's just throw anything here and see if it's fixed.
We'll drop another Doctor in that no one knew existed.
You know what? Here's the thing. I mean, the thing is, the show must.
The Chibnall should have gotten people who knew how to write sci-fi, and the fact that they went this route.
But he's the one that wrote the episode. He's the one that wrote this, though, Scott.
So
it doesn't even matter.
Loads of people can be making videos and saying Doctor Who is dead. I'm not saying Doctor Who is dead.
I'm not going to be making a video.
But what I would say is, the way I look at it now, it's on life support. It's just waiting. It's waiting for someone.
It's on the ventilator.
Yeah. It's just waiting for the point when someone's going to switch the machine off.
And you know what?
I think that's one reason why they brought Chibnall in, is they saw it's slowly dying. So Chibnall.
It wasn't dying it wasn't dying when Chibnall took it over. He killed it. He's killing it. That's my opinion. I like Capaldi. So I'm just gonna say, like, yes, I'm a content creator. Yes, I do videos, but there's gonna be other stuff on the channel then. If there's not gonna be the real Whovians, like the everything show, to release some things. When I feel that I could talk about Doctor Who again, I'll talk about Doctor Who again. It's not gonna be,
This is what happens. You put too many people in too many boxes, and then that's it. That's where people are just going to drop off. Get off.
Lately, this week has just been so nutty that we didn't really do that much Whovians, and then something happened with the, people behind the scenes fighting so much, and it's like, at first I was like, it was just craziness, and I'm just saying to myself, this shit is not really worth it. I mean, the nonsense that people go too far because of a show, and we don't agree with you, Matrix, or die and stupid shit. I'm just done. I'm just done. What am I fighting about? What am I defending? It's like, I love what I love with Doctor Who, and that's it. And I don't like that canon was changed. I hate it. And you know what? I think it's going to get changed back, but if it doesn't, whatever. I mean,
it's got too much involved into where they say, well, the fans can criticize, but it's not going to affect the show that we make. But the show bullshit, but they know that the product that they're putting out is having that effect, and it's the total amount of everything all put together has just drained the fun out of it to the point now where people will say,
I feel drained myself right now. I just it's like I'm like gritting teeth, like just talking about this. I feel miserable. We got to get out of here. I'm just like crazy. All right, that's gonna be the end of this one. Who knows when the next Real Whovians cast happens? But thank you, Beef. I appreciate your opinion.
It's all right. I feel like I've killed your show now.
Yeah, you put it in the coffin now.
But I would rather come on and speak truth instead.
Too. I'm not bullshitting either. Yeah. I'm not going to do the episode. I'm done, and I'm feeling done with it right now. So.
Like I say, there's so many years before this that we can go back and still enjoy and still talk about that much. If you're into Big Finish, great. But the way it is at the moment, I'll wait till the wheel turns and hopefully someone else will come in and breathe new life in.
Yeah, and hopefully when they come in, they actually change this. It loves the show enough to change it to where like, oh, this is the reason why. And
to Josh and to Paul and to everybody that commented, I appreciate it. I will talk to you guys individually.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
I did. I'm in a bad mood with this whole Doctor Who thing, so I do apologize for not reading your comments. But I will discuss things with you in private. And you guys are welcome on the show, the freestyle cast and the everything show and all this stuff. So thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now.